Hey there, my name is Dawn. Welcome to Gulf Coast October. Today I'm going to be painting this easel box or a French box. I got it a long time ago. It's been hanging around, making me anxious. I almost threw this away, and look at how many supplies were in here. I am a nut. I was going to throw the whole thing away, but I decided to salvage it. I took off all the legs because they were making me bonkers. I threw them away. And that's that. Now I have one that's easier to manage. I can hang it up on my shelf easy whenever I'm not using it. But we are going to paint this thing today. My pajamas at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to paint my easel just like this. What kind of supplies do I have in this old bag right here? Well, I have a sponge. That would be nice. Obviously, I used it for something else. This is a very good paintbrush for acrylic type of stuff. But then, of course, I have these paintbrushes, which I think this is what made me quit painting a few years ago. I was painting all the time, and I tried using these really nasty synthetic brushes, which don't do jack for what I do when I paint. So I'm probably going to throw those away. I just have not yet found something that I can use. So I'm going to start painting this. And I have brown. I really wanted black, but that's what I got. I got brown. And I have a lid in here for mixing paints. Let's see how if this paint works. And then do I have water? I have holy water. Does that work? Sure, why not? Let's use some holy water from Lourdes. You ever heard of the Song of Bernadette? One of my favorite movies. Look at that. I'm already happier. I'm already happier. I'm already happier. If you have something that you just don't know what to do with, try painting it and see if it changes how you feel about it. It looks kind of messy, but it'll get better in a minute. These clear ones are synthetic, but for some reason I love these bad boys. And these are good for makeup too. These are amazing. And they're like $8. They're probably like $15 now the way everything's changed. And so if you know me, whenever I paint stuff, I like to get into the way I feel, what's going on with Dawn, what kind of music's going on in the background, which I had to turn off because I'm talking and I can't have that. Um, I'm thinking about this conversation I had with my friend last night, and we were talking about, is it okay to be proud of who you are for whatever reason, to be whatever, whatever you bring to the potluck type of thing, if it's connected to that. And where I live at, there's a lot of culture clashing a lot. And I just think that's really sad. I love to add to, but I feel like there's more room than people give credit. There's room for all of it, right? There doesn't have to be, oh, because this person is bringing this, it means they're trying to take away what I'm doing. That's not what a higher vibration of existence with other humans is looking like. So I keep trying to remind my friends, we've got to vibrate higher, and what does that look like? And I was telling her, I don't watch the television. And my friend kept saying, but it was on the news. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't watch the television. Oh, what I'm doing, I'm just going to be painting things how I feel. So if I'm doing lines, there's something in my brain that's ticking, and I am processing this conversation, but not just the conversation. It's the topic the conversation led me to think about later, which is help each other heal. We have to heal on our own. We have to tap into it. It's an inside job, right? So how do we do that? And it was based off of, you know, just being mad and ashamed of aspects of ourselves based on society. Well, I can stay there or I can vibrate higher, and we can all try to meet each other on the higher vibration. When we talk about this stuff, and I know a lot of it sounds hokey pokey, think about it for a minute. Do you want to be in a world where everybody's just mad and angry and blah? Or are we going to look for the similarities and we're going to have a better existence, right? Okay, so how do I got my lines, man. I love these lines. I might try to vibrate higher by processing information. whenever I have these deep discussions with people, a few times we're like, hey, we should write all this stuff down. This is like my friends will tell me things. I'm like, whew. I'm remembering the times I was really good at it was when I always had my notebook with me. So anytime a thought came in my head and I didn't want to lose my thought, I would just jot it down really quick so that I didn't have to like be in a meeting in my own head, so to speak. I hated that. That was like this disgusting. I didn't I didn't even get too much of a guilty pleasure about it. It just felt gross, you know? So if you have that, you know what I'm talking about, where you feel yucky from like fantasizing and it's like, how do I keep doing this? So immediately write it down in the little notebook. I had these little hardback notebooks from Walmart, so I actually wanted to write in them. But I would decorate it. I made it a place that I wanted to open and close and write in and do all this stuff. If I had a thought that popped into my brain and was distracting me from being present, I wrote it down. And now it's like, haha, sucker, I got you. And you're there, and now I can pay attention. Or if somebody had something they were talking about, I really resonated with it on a level where I felt like God was talking to me, or like my grandma was talking to me from the other side, or something like that. Like it felt like it was mine. I would write that down. One of my tool bags is this book I could flip through and be like, God, is there anything today that is in this book that I did a long time ago that can help me with whatever situation I'm in right now? And sure enough, I will open that book and it becomes a living book filled with all of my solutions and my tools. And if I, get up every morning and meditate on it like it's a daily reflections book, I do pretty good. And it's funny because we have the ability to do this ourselves. So if you don't want to go where there's groups of people and do meetings, you can find your self-help videos. Armchair therapy, like, it has its goods and its bads, and I've had to live it, be part of it very deeply to understand how I really feel about all of it. I think you got to be a little bit crazy. It's smart and crazy. It's like both. I don't know. It's a tough world. I don't know. Channeling Mr. Rogers. I'm channeling, he's my friend. He helps me put the thought to paper. Then I can do it again and again. Channeling Mr. Wilson, he teaches me to cook. He gets excited when the soup is bubbling and he hollers out, hey, y'all look, Roger. Channeling review, bruh, even though he's still alive. If you ask him for a french fry, he will give you 5, my guy. He will give you 5, my guy. The ratings of a mad artist. Wow, that's kind of cool looking. There's a Bob Ross thing where what he would do, he would paint the background black, and then he would paint everything white, adding a little shade in layers, and then he would go back and add the colors, whether they were bright blues and indigos or reds and oranges. It was really beautiful. And then there's this big thing. I kind of wanted something here. It's an inspiring word, or I have a painting on the wall with a fish, and it says, sophisticated. I don't mind punny things. If you were me and this was yours, what would you put here? Would you put your name? Would you put... Oh, I could do Gulf Coast October. I'm going to do that. I love it. Okay, I didn't have to think very long. When I'm trying, I know I did them sideways, but I'm fine with it. When I'm trying to do the moons and I want it to be circular, it's like when you're prepping to like pitch, if you're into like softball or baseball or whatever, or throw, how you kind of like get rubbed up. I do a circular motion in the air, and then I hit the canvas, and then I do it again for the inside. And I tend to, and they're off because what you're seeing and what I'm seeing is a different angle, and it really makes the perspective totally different. But I want to get these moons in there, but I can balance out that they're uneven. Like, we'll pretend like I did that on purpose. This one on this side can have rays going up. That'll make it bring the depth and make it look like it's on purpose. And you just think about, so you see that on that side. Now on this one, I'm gonna make these lines going down. And what I'm thinking about as I'm doing this is about how I have the right to understand it's not wrong, it's just not finished, or it has to do with perspective, and I can reflect that back to lessons about myself and my own journey. I needed to take a little break, and of course my friend out here was begging for pecans. Here you go. You gotta catch it. Go get it. Go get it. They're cute, huh? I love them. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I painted this old French box. Now I love it. I hated it. Now I love it. See how that works out? If you enjoyed this at all, I would really appreciate if you'd give a like. And I love comments in the comments section. Hey, if you got something laying around and you're sick of looking at it, maybe you should paint it. So I hang out. I got some bloopers, and they're kind of weird, but I went ahead and added them anyways. Be blessed, be a blessing, blessed be. Bye now. Very clear that I cut out so that you don't see me when I'm weird. Balanco. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. Oh yes, wise one. Oh yes. Oh man. No. Spit on it. Spit on it. On a tree. Oh, we got a rat. Imagine that. A sombrero. Oh, I see what the hubbub is. You can't see what I'm doing. Mayan po, tong tong lele, Mayan po.